Have you ever wondered what happens when the moon turns blood red? In the Yoruba village of Apepẹ, those nights aren't just scary, they are deadly. People vanish. Families scream. And no one knows why, except the ones who dare to uncover the truth. In the quiet Yoruba village of Apepẹ, nights were usually peaceful. But once every 7 years, something strange happened. The moon turned red like burning coal. Elders warned everyone to stay indoors, yet some still doubted the old tales. This year, the red moon returned, brighter than ever. Adewale, a 22-year-old apprentice carpenter, stood outside admiring the sky despite his mother's warnings. There had been rumors, people vanished during the red moon, leaving behind only footprints. Adewale didn't believe it, he thought they were village superstitions used to scare children. But everything changed when he heard a scream from the bush path. A young girl, Sade, ran out crying that her brother had vanished before her eyes. As villagers gathered, fear spread quickly. Moral lesson: sometimes warnings from elders come from experience, not fear. Ignoring wisdom can lead to danger. The next morning, the entire village gathered in the palace square. The Baal, old Chief Aditunji, raised his staff and demanded calm. He said the ancestors were angry and that sacrifices and cleansing rites must be done. But many youths murmured in disagreement. Adewale watched Sade trembling, her eyes swollen from crying. She insisted she saw her brother fading like smoke under the red moon. Some villagers whispered that the disappearances were caused by evil spirits, others believed it was the work of greedy humans using dark rituals. Adewale couldn't stop thinking about what he saw, strange footprints in the dust where the boy vanished. The shape wasn't human. That night, he promised Sade he would help find the truth. Moral lesson: true courage is standing up to fear, even when others are too afraid to search for answers. Adewale and Sade decided to visit the Igbo ranch, the forbidden forest no one dared enter after sunset. Hunters claimed the trees whispered in unknown tongues, and strange figures walked between shadows. With nothing but a lantern and faith, they entered at midday. The forest felt alive. Birds went silent, and the air felt thicker. They found unusual carvings on the trees, symbols Adewale had never seen. Suddenly, they heard movement. A hooded figure disappeared deeper into the woods. They chased after him but stopped when they saw a stone altar stained with old blood. Sade trembled. Adewale realized something: this wasn't about spirits, it was human activity. Someone in Apepẹ was behind the disappearances. Moral lesson: evil often hides behind the mask of superstition. Investigate before you blame the unseen. Later that evening, while pretending to fetch water, Adewale overheard two elders talking in hushed voices. One said, "Everything must be ready before the next red moon night." His heart pounded. Could village elders be part of it? He shared what he heard with Sade. She gasped, recalling stories her late grandmother told about an ancient society called Awo Imukoro, known for using people as sacrifices to prolong their lives. Adewale refused to believe the elders could be monsters. But the more he thought about the strange carvings, the hooded figure, and the footprints, the more it made sense. The next red moon night was in 7 days. Time was running out. Moral lesson: sometimes the real danger comes from trusted places. Be watchful, even with familiar faces. If you think you figured out the secret, wait, what Adewale discovers next will shock you. Don't skip a second, stay with us as the red moon rises and the true danger is revealed. Desperate for answers, Adewale snuck into his late father's old box. His father, a hunter, died mysteriously during the last red moon. Inside the box, he found a journal filled with sketches of strange symbols identical to those in the forest. One entry chilled him: the society is growing stronger. They hide behind tradition. Adewale showed Sade the journal. She covered her mouth. Everything pointed to an organized ritual, not a supernatural curse. They realized they needed help, but who could they trust? Moral lesson: the truth is often hidden in history. Understanding the past helps solve the present. Adewale decided to confide in his childhood friend, Connor, hoping for help. Connor listened quietly, too quietly. That night, Adewale and Sade noticed people following them. Shadows moved suspiciously around their houses. Connor had betrayed them. The Awo Imukuro wanted the journal. It held secrets that could expose them. Adewale hid Sade in the old yam barn while he distracted the pursuers. Moral lesson: not everyone you trust deserves it. Be careful who you share your dreams and fears with. The night arrived. The moon glowed blood red, casting an eerie light over Apepẹ village. Drums echoed from the forbidden forest. Adewale and Sade sneaked toward the sound. From a hill, they saw hooded members of the society circling the stone altar. And there, tied to a tree, were 3 people who had gone missing. They were alive. Adewale clenched his fist. He whispered to Sade, "We must save them before the final chant." Moral lesson: bravery is not the absence of fear, it's acting even when fear is present. Adewale created a distraction by throwing a burning log into the bushes, causing panic among the cult members. As they scattered, he rushed to cut the ropes binding the captives. Sade guided them quietly away, but Connor spotted them and raised an alarm. Chaos erupted. Adewale faced Connor, pleading for him to stop. Connor hesitated, torn between friendship and loyalty to the society. "You don't understand," he cried. "They promised us power." Adewale shook his head. "Power gained through evil destroys everything." Moral lesson: the promise of power can blind people. Never trade your humanity for temporary gain. The villagers heard the screams and rushed into the forest, armed with torches and anger. When they discovered what the elders had been doing, rage filled their hearts. The society members tried to escape but were overpowered. The Baal was stripped of his title and taken away. Connor dropped to his knees, crying. Adewale forgave him but told him to confess everything. The captives were taken home alive, though traumatized. Moral lesson: evil thrives when good people stay silent. Speaking up can save lives. Weeks passed. The village rebuilt itself with new leadership. A yearly festival was created to honor those who survived the Red Moon Nights. Adewale became a symbol of courage. Sade recovered slowly, and she and Adewale grew close, bonded by their shared experience. The Red Moon returned a year later, but for the first time, no one disappeared. Apepẹ was finally free. Final moral lesson: communities become stronger when courage, truth, and unity replace fear and silence. Apepẹ survived the Red Moon, but mysteries like this still lurk across Africa. If you love this story and want more chilling African tales of secrets, curses, and bravery, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because the next story will be even darker.